Here's some big news that's coming in right from Ukraine. Russia has carried out 2 missile strikes on training ground in Rivne region, says the head of regional administration, Vitaly Koval. Remember, we're looking at day 26 of this war and Russia upping its ante against Ukraine. We're seeing several areas being struck at. Russia now has carried out 2 missile strikes on a training ground in Rivne region. This claim has come from the head of regional administration, Vitaly Koval. These are images that we bring to you right here on India Today that shows how missiles are raining on regions of Ukraine. And this visual comes from a training ground in Rivne region. And this is a missile strike that's been reported as per claims by the head of the regional administration, Vitaly Koval. Let me quickly cut across to Maria joining us for a little more on this. Maria, give us an insight and understanding what these 2 missile strikes mean on a training ground in Rivne region. Russia only upping its offensive against several parts of Ukraine, while we still see bilateral talks currently underway not making much headway.
Yeah, you're right. So we again see Russia trying to target military objects, big military bases. So it is Rivne Oblast. Rivne Oblast is to the north of Ukraine, very close to Belarus. So allegedly, these strikes could be happening from Belarus, from across the border. So Rivne just borders with Belarus, Rivne Oblast. And so far, we know the only detail is that the strike hit the military base at about 2:30 a.m. Local time, so no other details were uncovered by the head of Oblast administration, Vitaly Koval. We are still waiting for the new details. So as we see, this is the second strike of Russians onto the military base in the western part of Ukraine. So Rivne is to the west, western part, closer to the north, so northwest of Ukraine. And we have seen several days ago the strike, the previous week, the strike on the Yavoriv military base, which is in Lviv region, which is also the western part of Ukraine, very close to the border with Poland, very close to the border of NATO already. So we see now that Russia is switching from targeting the civil objects to targeting military base. And this was the events of this night in Rivne. And in Kyiv, we had again, also the missile strike at night. It happened just before the midnight, and Russians targeted the shopping center, which is to the north of Kyiv, which is very close actually to the places where Russians are already standing for several days already, so even for weeks, in the northern suburban area to the north of Kyiv. And from there, they targeted this big shopping center, which was completely destroyed. And we have seen the terrible visuals of the shopping center just exploding and being all on fire. And the firefighters had to work several hours to put down the fire. And the result of this strike is that 4 people were killed, 200 people were evacuated. At least 1 person is now at the hospital with heavy injuries. And these pictures are really just, you can't believe them, because the shopping center is in the civil area, targeted and just exploding as you don't like. You see these pictures usually in movies, and now you see it as a reality, the night strike in Kyiv. Together with what was happening in Rivne, we see that Russia just ups the ante, ups her stakes in the negotiation process, which is now underway. We're still waiting for some results. The office of the president looks to be very optimistic, saying that Russia now tries to be more constructive, more talking
and that's what we see with the 2 missile strikes now targeting a training ground. But that's what Russia's target been since day 1, military ground, military infrastructure of Ukraine. Stay with us. We have some more information coming in on that. In fact, Russian forces now going all out to capture the city of Mariupol.